Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to the lecture. Today we are going to discuss about the optimal feasible solution. In previous classes we discussed about the initial basic feasible solution. Today class we are moving towards the optimality. Moving towards optimality. Okay. Here, how we are moving the optimality? Coming to the simplex, there we are checking the initial basic feasible solution. Then we are finding the entering variables. Then we are finding the leaving variables. Then only we are checking the condition, optimal condition. Then we find the optimal solution. Coming to the transportation problem, here we are moving the optimality towards by calculating the initial basic feasible solution. Here we are finding the initial basic feasible solution by using three methods. One is northwest corner method, and second one is least cost entry method. Third one is Vogel's approximation method. These three methods are used to find the initial basic feasible solution. After finding the initial basic feasible solution, we are going to determine the leaving variables and determine the entering variables and determine the optimal value. It is repeated step 1 to 4 up to getting the final solution, that is final cost. We are doing this process. Then we are going to do the optimal solution. But then we are finding the optimal value. Okay, here we are determining the leaving variable and determining the entering variable. How we are determining the leaving variable and entering variables? If it is a simplex method, simply we have taken the iterations, that key columns and key rows we are finding. Based on that, we are finding the leaving variable and entering variable. Coming to the transportation problem, here we have the supply and demand. Based on these values, we are finding the leaving variable and entering variables. Here we have taken the minimal unit cost, and we have taken that minimal unit cost was that is a leaving variable. Then we are entering the new commodity for that allocation. Okay, we are allocating the new commodity for that particular row or column at the cost values. Okay, then we are finding the optimal value. Here, how we are finding the optimal value? After finding the total cost, we are getting some solution that is called as the optimal value here. Okay, after calculating the initial basic feasible solution by these three methods, we are going to check the allocation. Okay, here we are checking the allocations. Allocations are is equal to m plus n minus 1. We have to balance this equation. Okay, here in this equation, what is the m? M is the number of rows in that particular matrix, and n is the number of columns in that matrix. Here, what is the matrix? Matrix is the transportation cost. Okay, it means these are the Cij values. From the Cij, we are calculating the mn. After satisfying the allocations, we are going to the optimality. Okay, this is the step for moving the optimality. Now coming to the optimal solution, here we are finding the optimal solution by the help of two methods. One is modified distribution method, it is also called as Modi method, and second one is stepping stone method. In this class, we are going to discuss about modified distribution method. Here, coming to the Modi method algorithm, Then step 1, first we have to check the rim condition. The problem is a balanced or unbalanced problem. First we have to check, then we are finding the rim condition. How we find the rim condition? Here the rim condition is total supply is equal to total demand. If it satisfies, the problem is in rim condition. Then we go for finding the initial basic feasible solution. Here we are finding the initial basic feasible solution by the help of three methods. Already we discussed. One is northwest corner method, second one is least cost entry method, third one is Vogel's approximation method. In our case, for optimal solution for solving the problem and getting the optimal solution by the help of Vogel's approximation method, it is the best method compared to remaining two methods. That's the reason I am going to take the Vogel's approximation method to find the initial basic feasible solution in modified distribution method. Okay, coming to the Vogel's approximation method, what we have to find here, first we have to calculate the penalties. Here we have to calculate the penalties between least value, it means least cost value, and next to least cost value. The difference between these two is equal to penalty. Okay, here we are calculating the penalties based on the least values of Cij. Okay, here what is the Cij? If suppose we have the 3 by 3 matrix, here we have 3 supply stations and 3 demand stations. Here C11, C12, C13, C21, C22, C23, C31, C32, C33. These are the unit cost values of the given supply stations and demand stations. Okay, here we have to find the penalty between these two stations, these two supply and demand stations. If coming to the first row, here we have to calculate the least penalty. It means we are going to calculate the two least values. Here which one is the least? C11 and C12 is the least. So we are going to calculate the difference between these two. We are going to calculate the value of these two, that is called as the penalty value. Here we have to get the penalties from the rows and columns. After calculating the penalty, in step 3 we have to identify the highest penalty from these penalties. Identifying the highest penalty value. After identifying the highest penalty, we have to identify the least value from that matrix, from the table. If suppose we have the highest value at this particular row, then we are going to check the which cost is the least from this row. That one we have to identify. So identifying the highest penalties while identifying the least cost value at that particular row or column at that particular station. Okay, after identifying the row, we are going to allocate the supply or demand. Which one is the least? We are going to allocate that value. At step 4, we are allocating the transportation units to that particular cell. Okay, units to that particular cell. Next, here we are repeating step 2 to 4 to getting the initial basic feasible solution. Okay, after getting the initial basic feasible solution, we have to check the allocations. In step 6, we have to check the allocations, that is m plus n minus 1 is equal to allocation we have to check. If it satisfies, for example, here we have 3 rows and 3 columns. Total 3 plus 3 minus 1 is equal to 3. And if suppose we are allocating 5 cells here, here and here, total 5 allocations we made in this particular matrix, in this particular source, in this commodity. So total is 6 minus 1 is equal to 5. So 5 is equal to 5. It is satisfied. Then we are going to find the optimal solution. In step 7, we are going to calculate the optimal solution by the help of modified distribution method. Here The step 7 is in this step here we are going to find the values. It means in simplex we are finding the new initial basic feasible solution values. Like that, here also we are going to find the new values. Here we find the new values for the allocations. Here we are already allocated, we are some values we are allocated in this initial basic feasible solution. Here we are taking that allocated cells, then we are going to find the new values. Here we are finding the new values based on this formula. Cij is equal to uy plus vj. Okay. Here what is the uy and what is the vj? Here uy is called as the row value. Here suppose if we have 3 by 3 matrix C11, C12, C13, C21, C22, C23, C31, C32, C33. Here we have the supply is 5, 5, 4, demand is 4, 5, 5, like this. Okay. Here now we are going to, if suppose we have the allocations here, here and here, here 5 allocations are there. Here we are assuming this is called as U1, U2, U3. First row is the U1, second row is the U2, third row is the U3. Like that. Simply come to the columns V1, V2, V3. Here we are assuming this. Okay. Here UI means the supply station row value of allocation. Here we have 2 allocations, U1, U2. Here we have 1 allocation. Here we have 2 allocations. Based on this, we are going to find the Cij value. For example, if coming to the first row, here how many allocations are there? 2 allocations are there. Where we have the 2 allocations coming to the first one? C11, 1 allocation is there. C11 is equal to where it is available at 1. At first workstation. It means supply 1, demand 1. Okay, here we have the allocation 1. It means U1 plus V1. Next, coming to the second allocation, C12. Here, U1, V2. Next, coming to this, where it is having at second row, it means U2, and here we have V2. So, C22 is equal to U2 plus V2. Next, coming to the third row, here we have 2 allocations. First one is C32. C32 is equal to U3 plus V2. Next, C33. U3 plus V3. We have to calculate these values. Here we have one condition. We have to assume any one value from this U and V is equal to 0. Then only we get all values. If suppose we assume U1 is equal to 0, we get V1 value from this. Okay. After here we get V2 value because here already we have the C11 value, cost value is there. From that we are going to calculate the U1, V1. In this, if we assume any one is equal to 0, we get another value like that. V1 we get here and here V2 we get. Here we have the V2 value, so we are going to substitute V2. From this we are going to get U2 value. Next, coming to here, V2 is there. From this we are going to get U3, and here U3 is there. From this we are going to get V3 values. After calculating these values, now we are going to check the optimality. In step 8, we are going to check the optimality. How we are checking the optimality? Here we have the one formula. Delta Ij is equal to Cij minus Uy minus Vj. Okay. Here we are going to calculate the delta Ij. If the delta Ij is greater than 0, we are going to stop the solution. Here the optimality is reached. If it is not reaches, if it is not satisfied, again we are going to calculate the new allocations, new values. Okay. If it is Dij is less than or equal to 0, again we are going to take the minute values, then we are going to draw the loops based on these minute values like this shapes. Here the loop is started with allocation value and it is end with allocation. Okay, Here we are giving the alternative signs plus minus minus plus. We are giving, based on this we are going to find the new allocations. Here delta ij is calculated for non-allocation cells. It is for non-allocation cells. Okay. Here we are calculating Cij, Uy plus Vj for allocation cells. Allocation cells. Okay. If suppose Dij is not getting greater than 0, if suppose we have Dij is less than 0, how we are going to draw the loop? We are going to discuss in step 9. It means here we are finding the Dij values. Dij is less than 0 means less than or equal to 0 means here we have the it is a set of negative values and positive values are there. From this we are going to identify the most negative value. Most negative value we are identifying. After identifying the most negative value, we are going to identify the particular cell where we have the highest negative value. Okay. From this, here we have the highest negative value means we are going to take that particular cell. If suppose here we have the negative value at C22 place, we are going to take this is the starting cell for the loop, and here we are adding the sign is negative sign we are taken. After this we are going to draw the loop based on this. The loop must, it contains, it is with allocated cell, it must end with allocation. Okay, like this. Come to this here, and here there is no allocation, so that's why simply we are taking the minute value and draw the loop here. Otherwise okay, suppose if we have the negative value is here, it is allocation is there, we are taking the negative sign and here we are drawing the loop based on this. If suppose here also we have one allocation, if we think like this, draw this. The loop must start with allocation and end with allocation. Here we are taking negative, positive, negative, positive. If suppose here we have the allocation is 1 unit and unit cost is 3 units, and allocation is 2 units, allocation is 4 units, allocation is 5 units. Here we are transferring the allocation from this point to another point. Here what is the sign is there? -1. From this we are going to identify the least value. Which one is the least value? Here 1 is there, 4 is there. Here subtract symbol is there. From this we are going to identify the least value. 1 and 4. Which one is the minimum? 1 is the minimum. Here we are going to transfer this 1 unit for throughout the loop. If suppose here we are transferring the 1 unit from here to here, what about this? Here 1 unit is there, 5 unit is there, 4 unit is there, 2 unit is there. Negative, negative, positive, positive is there. If suppose we are transferring this 1 unit from here to here, here positive sign is there. 2 plus 1, it may change 3. Next come to here. We are transferring this 1 unit here, 4 minus 1, minus is there na? 4 minus 1 is equal to we get 3. Next come to here, 5 plus 1, 6. Okay, these are the new values. After this we are getting -1, 1 equal to 0. 0, 3, 3, 6. Based on this we are going to check the, again we are going to calculate the C1, Cij values, and again we are going to calculate the delta ij value. Up to it reaches the greater than or equal to 0, we have to repeat this procedure. Okay, if it reaches this delta ij is greater than 0, the optimality is reached, and find the total cost. Okay, this is a modified distribution method. Now we are going to solve this problem. Now we are going to calculate one problem based on this algorithm. Then we get the modified distribution method. Okay. In this example, we are going to apply the modified distribution method to solve this. Here they are given solve the transportation problem. Okay, here three sources are there, 1, 2, 3, and 3 destinations are there, and each source we have the supply 14 units, 12 units, 5 units, and demand 6 units, 10 units, 15 units are there, and the unit cost values are given. Here 1, 1, 6 is there, 1 to 8, 1, 3, 4 is there, and C2, 1, 4, C2, 2, 9, C2, 3, 12, C3, 1, 1, C3, 2, 2, C3, 3, 6 is there. Now they are given, in our problem, they are given solve the following transportation problem. It means they didn't give any solution. Which solution we are going to calculate? It means it may be initial basic feasible solution or optimal solution. We don't know initially from this problem. Just they are given solve the following transportation problem. Which method we are going to apply? Which solution we are going to calculate? It means if they ask like this, we are going to calculate the optimal solution only. Okay, here in this case I am going to calculate the optimal solution by the help of Modi method. Okay, here so far we discussed about the Modi method algorithm, Modi method steps we discussed. Okay, now I am going to apply those steps in this for this problem. First, what is the step 1? We have to check the rim condition. The problem is in rim condition or not, we have to check. How we calculate the rim condition? We are checking the rim condition by the help of total supply and total demand. Here what is the supply? 14, 12, 5 is there. It means 31 units are there. Is equal to demand also 31. Okay, it is in rim condition. The rim condition is satisfied. It is a balanced transportation problem. Okay, next. Now we are going to find the initial basic feasible solution. How we are finding the initial basic feasible solution? Here we have 3 methods. One is northwest corner method, least cost entry method, Vogel's approximation method. From these 3 methods, Vogel's approximation method is the best method. Already we proved it. Many industries they are using VAM method for getting the solution. Okay. Here also we are using Vogel's approximation method for solving this transportation problem. It is also called, this method is also called as penalty method. Okay, now we are going to calculate the penalties for each row and column. Here how many rows are there? Here I am going to use Vogel's approximation method. It is also called as penalty method. Coming to the solution, step 3. Now we are going to identify the penalties. Where we are going to identify the penalties? From the sources and destinations. There we have the unit cost. In that, for that cost we are going to calculate the penalties. Okay, 12, 5, 6, 10, 15. Okay, this is supply and this is demand. Next, coming to the penalty, how we calculate the penalty? Here we have to identify the least values. Which one is the least? In this row we have the 4 is the least, and next unit is 6 is there. Next least, 6 minus 4 is equal to 2. This is the penalty for first source. Next, coming to the second source, first list is 4 and then second list is 9. 9 minus 4 is equal to 5. Next, third, 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. Similarly, coming to the column penalties, here we are calculating the penalties for destinations. Here 1, 4 is there, so 4 minus 1, 3. Here 8 minus 2, 6. Here 6 minus 4, 2. Okay, from this we are going to identify the highest penalty. From this we are going to identify the highest penalty. Where we have the highest penalty? Here 6 is the highest penalty, so here we are going to allocate the values. Here it is a leaving variable. If suppose we are assuming this is a leaving variable, we are going to identify the entering variable. In this column we have to identify the least cost. Where we have the least cost? Here in this cell we have the least cost. Okay, here we are going to allocate the values. Here the demand is 10 is there, then the supply is 5 is there. in which one is the least? Supply is the least, so we are going to allocate 5 units here. Here we are allocating 5 units. After allocating 5 units, the demand supply is 0, the demand is 5. For further iterations, we are going to remove this row. After removing this, we are getting A, B, C and 1, 2, 6, 8, 4, 4, 9, 12, and here the supply is 14, 12, the demand is 6, 5, 15. Okay. Now again I am going to calculate the penalties. So coming to the rows, the row penalty is 6 minus 4, 2 is there. Then column penalty 9 minus 4, 5. Here column penalty 6 minus 4, 2, 9 minus 8, 1, 12 minus 4, 8. From this we are going to identify the highest penalty. Here the 8 is the highest penalty. So in this column we are going to allocate the units. Here which one is the least cost? Which cell we have the least cost? Here the 4 is the least cost from these two. So it is here we are going to allocate the commodity. Here how many units we are going to allocate here? Here the demand is 15 units is there and the supply is 14 units is there. From this list is 14 means we have taken the 14 unit supply for this, and after supplying 14 units we have the demand is 5 units. Next column, next we are going to remove this. Okay, means A, B, C and second 4, 9, 12. Okay, here the supply is 12 units and the demand is 6, 5, 11. Here we reached the 1 by 1 matrix. So there is no possible to calculate the penalties for this. That's the reason I am going to allocate directly here. It is balanced. It is in ream condition. Now I am going to allocate the values. Here we are allocating 6 units and here I am allocating 5 units and here I am allocating 1 unit. This is 6. Okay. Now we are going to calculate the total cost. For this total initial cost we are calculating here based on the allocations. 1, 2, 3 sources are there and destinations also 3 is there, A, B, C. Here the values are 6, 8, 4, 4, 9, 12, 1, 2, 6. In this table I am going to mark the allocations. Here coming to the first, where we have the allocation, here we have the allocation is 5 units. Next here we have the allocation is 14. Next allocations are at 4, 6 units, 9, 5 units, then 1 units. Here coming to the supply and demand, here how many units are allocated? 14 units allocated. Here 6, 5, 12. Total, sorry, this is not 12, this is 1. 6, 5, 1, 12. Next here 5. So it is 31. Next coming to this, here we are allocated 6 units and here we are allocated 10. Here we are allocated 14. 14 plus 1, 15 is there. Okay. Now we are going to check the optimality. Here the optimality is how we are calculating the optimality, how we are checking the optimality. M plus n minus 1 is equal to allocation. Here what is the M? Number of rows. How many number of rows are there? 3. Then how many number of columns are there? 3 minus 1. Then how many number of allocations are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 allocations are there. Here it reaches the optimality. It satisfies the optimal condition, optimality. Now we are going to calculate the Cij is equal to Uy minus Vj. Okay. Here I am going to calculate Cij is equal to Uy minus Vj. Here we are assuming this is U1, this is U2, this is U3, and here we are assuming this is V1, this is V2, this is V3. Okay. Here we are calculating the Cij for allocation cells. This is for allocation cells. Okay. Here coming to the first row, where we have the allocation at 1C, source 1 and destination C, we have the allocations. It means C13. C13 we have the allocation. C13 is equal to Uy, where we have, what is the Uy? Uy means U1 and Va means V3. The cell is located at U1 and V3. Next coming to the second allocation. Here 2A, it means C21. The allocation at the first place, it means U2 V1. Next coming to the second one, C22. Here C22 means U2 V2. Next this one, C23 U2 V3. Next here C32 U3 plus V2. Here total 5 rows are satisfied. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here also we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 equations we have obtained from these allocations. Now we are going to calculate the U1 V3 values. Here what is the C13 value? C13 is 4 is equal to U1. We don't know the U1. U1 plus V3. Here next coming to the second row, C21 is there. C21. Here how many, what is the unit cost at C2? 4 is equal to U2 plus V1. Next C22. Here 9 is equal to U2 plus V2. Next 12 is equal to U2 plus V3. Next 2 is equal to U3 plus V2. Here in these 6 variables we are going to take any one variable is equal to 0 for getting other variables. Here I would like to take U1 is equal to 0. If we substitute U1 value here, we get V3 is equal to 4. Next coming to this, here we don't know U2 value and V1 value. Let's go to the second equation. Here also we don't know U2 and V2. Go to third, U2 and V3. Here we know the V3 value. V3 is 4. From this, U2 is equal to U2 12 minus 4 is equal to 8. Here we get U2 8. Now we are going to substitute this value in this equation U2. In this V is equal to 4 minus 8. It means minus 4. Here U2 is 8. From this V2 is equal to 1. Next coming to this, here V2 value is there. V2 is 1 is there. So U3 is equal to 1. 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. Okay. Here we get the values. What is the U2 value? U2 is 8. U3 is 1. Next V1 is minus 4. V2 is 1. V3 is 4. We obtained U1, U2, U3, V1, V2, V3 values from these linear equations. Now we are going to check the condition, optimal condition. What is the, how we are checking the optimal condition? Delta Ij is equal to Cij minus Uy minus Vj. It is for, this is for unallocated cells. From the unallocated cells we are calculating this. Okay, already for allocation cells we are calculating. Now here we are going to calculate unallocated cells. Here how many unallocated cells are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 unallocated cells are there. For those 4, we are going to calculate delta ij. Next, coming to the first one, where we have the unallocated cell at 1 1 place. D11 we have unallocated. 1 1 is equal to C11 minus U1 minus V1. Next, here unallocated is there. Delta 1 2 is equal to C12 minus U1 minus V2. Next, delta 31. Delta 31 is equal to C31 minus U3 minus V1. Next, similarly, delta 32. This one, delta 33. Delta 33 is equal to C33 minus U3 minus V3. Okay. Next, coming to the first equation, here what is the C11 value? Here the C11 value is 6. 6 minus, what is the U1 value? U1 is equal to 0 minus V1. What is the V1 value? Minus of minus 4. From this, we will obtain delta 11 is 2. Next, coming to the second equation, C12. How much is C12? 8 minus U1 is 0 minus V2. What is the V2? V2 is 1. So, we get 7. Next, C31. What is the C31 value? 1 minus U3 is 1 minus V1 minus of minus 4. So, from this we get 4. Next, see this one. C33. What is the C33 value? C33 is 6 minus U3 is 1 minus V3 is 4. From this 1. Here all delta ij's are greater than 0. Here 1 is 2, 7, 4, 1. These are all greater than 0. So it reaches the optimality. It satisfies the optimal condition. Now we are going to find the optimal solution. Total cost is equal to, we are calculating here the total cost from the allocations. Okay, here first allocation is at, we have 4 into 14, then second one 4 into 6, then third one 9 into 5, then 12 into 1, then 2 into 5. From this 14 4 ja 56 plus 24 plus 45 plus 12 plus 10. Here we are adding these all 5, 7, 110, 120, 130, 130, 140, 147. Total value is 147 rupees. Okay, this is our cost. This is the final cost. Optimal. It is a optimal solution. Thank you.